The 2013 First in Michigan Robotics State Championship is brought to you by
Chevrolet. Find new roads.
They've come from all over Michigan, from Monroe to Muskegon, Lake Erie to Lake Superior. 64 teams of high school students have spent weeks designing, building, and competing with custom-made robots through district matches with one goal: to be named the state robotics champion. All their vision, drive, guts, and gears comes down to today at the First in Michigan Robotics State Championship.
And we welcome you inside the Convocation Center here on the campus of Eastern Michigan. I'm Dan Gutowski. My partner is Dave Verbrugge. And Dave, let's get all the essentials out of the way. The bottom line is these high school kids are trying to throw their Frisbees into their targets and try to amass as many points as they can. And it's a very exciting day for them. So the rules are fairly complicated, but they have to be addressed early so we know what these teams can and cannot do within the confines of the actual competition.
It's on this 27 by 54-foot field where the line between man and machine blurs, where passion can be measured in ohms and rotations per second. Right here, 3 separate teams come together under one banner of red or blue to compete for glory, honor, and robotic supremacy in ultimate ascent. Ultimate ascent gets half its name from the ultimate frisbees that robots attempt to shoot into one of 4 scoring goals at each end of the field. Each robot has its own strategy for scoring. Some run and gun, while others have long-range capabilities. Others use their height to lob discs into the goals. The higher goals are worth more points. The other half of the name comes from the ascent itself. Robots can score additional points by climbing their alliance-colored pyramid located in the middle of the field. Each level conquered earns the team 10 points, with a full climb worth 30 points. The first 15 seconds of every match begins with the autonomous period. During this time, robots must be pre-programmed to move on their own without any input from the student drivers. All points scored during autonomous are worth double. Robots can only be preloaded with 3 discs, so the ability of some robots to pick up discs off the floor gives a distinct advantage. Tension mounts while human drivers watch powerless as their mechanical avatars attempt to gain an early advantage. After the longest 15 seconds of their competitive careers, the drivers rush forward and take the controls. 2 drivers and a coach control the robots, while an additional team member feeds discs to the robots through loading zones at the corners of the field. Each robot can only carry 4 discs at a time. These loading zones are critical as opposing robots try to defend speedy shooters or deadly corner snipers without earning interference fouls. A buzzer sounds, and suddenly we're in the last 30 seconds of the game. Robots scrambling all over to make their last disc points before heading to the pyramids for those crucial climb points. When the final horn sounds, the alliance who scores the most combined points is named the winner, while the defeated alliance goes back to the shop.
Sarah Setarski standing by as we check in with her. She's talking to one of our referees for today's event.
Thanks, guys. Now, just as in hockey, football, and basketball, there are referees here at the Ultimate Ascent. I'm here with 10-year volunteer referee Alan Bennett. Now, Alan, how does this competition kind of is similar to hockey, football, and basketball?
Well, hockey, football, and basketball are professional sports. First is primarily around education, around science, technology, engineering, math education. It's the competition part of first that really brings in the enthusiasm and passion of all the students and the adults that are involved in it. So when you make it a competition, then you have to have fair and consistent officiating. Ultimate Ascent involves scoring in 2 different ways, in putting frisbees in the goals that you see here, and also climbing those pyramids. So the rules are designed around protecting those elements. So there's rules that allow that protect the robot while they're trying to score and protect the robot while they're trying to climb. So primarily they're protected zones. There's a loading zone and the pyramid that are protected. So if a robot is contacted while they're in the loading zone or on the pyramid, that's a foul. And so we judge the degree of severity of the contact. It becomes either a regular foul or a technical foul.
All right, thank you so much, Alan. Now we'll go back to the competition.
And here's some more information about the first competition here today at Eastern Michigan.
The secret of FIRST is not the game and it's not the robots. No, FIRST is about inspiring young people to be science and technology leaders by engaging them in exciting mentor-based programs that combine the excitement of a varsity sport with hands-on training in science and technology.
If I could just somehow ignite a little interest in kids that might not otherwise think about it, in understanding the world, understanding science, understanding mathematics, understanding technology. We need kids to understand at an early age that they should be putting as much passion and as much energy into becoming good at thinking and problem solving and embracing science and mathematics and engineering as they are willing to put all their time and effort and energy into becoming good at some sports. And we might create the next kid that does something unbelievable.
In the pits we go as we join Sarah Sentarski with a newcomer to this Michigan Robotics Championship. Sarah?
Yeah, I'm here with Eric Pruitt, who is with the Flat Mountain Mechanics, and you guys are a new team to this competition.
That's right. This is our first year with FIRST Robotics. Well, you know, it's been such a positive experience for our kids. We'd really like to see this grow. Right now, we're the only team in the Mount Pleasant area. There's one in Alma, but that's a little ways away. There's a good manufacturing base up there, but nothing like this for the kids to be training them and growing them and, and preparing them for the jobs that are out there.
All right, well, thank you very much, Eric, and we'll go back to the competition right now.
It's already been a long day of competition that started with 64 teams, now down to 4 3-team alliances. These are the top 12 teams in Michigan. The alliances are made up of a captain team, one of the top seeded teams from the qualifying rounds, and 2 more teams drafted by the captain team, all with the goal of working together and winning today's championship. As we get back to business, we're already deep into this best-of-3 semifinal round. Let's take a look at our bracket.
And there you have it. We'll now have Alliance 1 versus Alliance 4. The Alliance 1 will be in the red bumpers, 4 in the blue. And then Alliance 2 versus Alliance 3. Alliance 2 will be on the red bumpers.
And now it's time to see if we'll have our first alliance headed to the finals.
Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
And this autonomous round begins.
Semifinal 2, match number 2. The Red Alliance is up 1-0.
Sometimes those big starts can be very hard to overcome, but this one, Dave, evens out very quickly.
A little closer this time, yes.
You see Thunder Chickens loading up there with Biting Bulldogs in front with a good shot. A little contact there between Killer Bees and Biting Bulldogs in the middle. Fighting Pie loading up in the corner and coming out. This is a very close semifinal match, and Fighting Pie goes point blank and unloads to give them a modest lead here. Again, all the scoring unofficial, but it's very much back and forth.
Absolutely. Good match. 2:17, the Thunder Chickens are down here. They're trying to set up that full range shot and get that dialed in. Nobody's playing defense on them, but they can't quite get it lined up. So in the meantime, 35-39 are picking up the misses and 469 and firing them in.
And the Trucktown Thunder robot just fell over and then righted itself.
Little like the Dukes of Hazzard there, you know, get them up on 2 wheels, bring them back down, and keep rolling.
And the Fighting Pie Blue Alliance robot keeps shooting, and a little bit of collision there in the middle from Las Guerrillas for the Red Alliance, but boy, still very close. A 15-point lead for the Red Alliance.
And we're under 20 seconds remaining in this match.
Fighting Pie wants to go and get some points. Some good blocking there by Biting Bulldogs. And we're inside 10 seconds.
It's close enough.
Nobody's climbing until right now. Fighting Pie and Trucktown Thunder for the Blue Alliance.
Dan, it is going to be extremely close because I see only one robot, the 469 machine, hanging here. I think we've got 2 hanging down on the Blue Alliance. The disc points looked like the edge was a little bit, so I think we're both up here on the blue. I think the disc edge was a little bit to red, but there's 10 points difference in hang point right there.
Every point is going to mean something from here on out. So it's the Red Alliance that emerges with the victory, almost a 20-point win, 23 points. And they won disc points, climb points, but lost them on foul points.
And they move into the finals. So we have our first finalist here, the number 2 Alliance, heading into essentially the medal round.
I'm here with Governor Rick Snyder. Now, Governor, why is this competition so important to the state of Michigan?
Oh, it's critically important. It's about the kids, our young people, and what a great way to learn. They're having a blast, but they're really learning about engineering, science, technology, math, all those fields, and to have the mentor relationships. So I think this is a fabulous event. We need more coverage of events like this, because how great can this be? I'm fired up. And it's great to see when you look at these teams, they're all working together. It's all about teamwork and learning great skills and being successful. And these skills will translate to their entire life in terms of good teamwork, collaboration, and making it happen. So it's great to see more women involved, and we want more people involved, period.
Thanks so much for being here, and we will talk to you later.
Great, wonderful event.
Back to you guys.
All right, Sarah, thank you. As we look at how things are shaping up, we're very close to our finals matchup. Alliance 2 has handled the heavy lifting, but it's left to Alliances 1 and 4. The winner of this next match is going to get Alliance 2 in the championship.
This is going to be a great match.
And we know the winner of this match is in the finals.
That's right.
So the pressure just keeps on getting turned up. Big blocker there. That's the Engineerage robot for the Red Alliance. And here's the big boy for the Blue Alliance. That would be Hazmat's robot number 2145. And the autonomous period begins fairly well for the Red Alliance, and even better for the Blue Alliance. Good shooting by the Tech Bikes robot in the middle. That's the Hazmat's robot loading up for the Blue Alliance.
They've got those blue discs. They're going to go right to the top of the pyramid with them.
Very aggressive there. Let's see how quickly they can perform as Tech Bikes will shoot and score for the Red Alliance.
Dan, we've got a problem with the 67 machine. It's not driving right. It's at the middle of the field.
That's
the engineer's trying to push them.
That's the hot team for the Red Alliance. So our scoring may be way down. You just saw the Hazmat's robot shooting and missing those colored discs on top.
The Red Alliance still with a lead, but 67 not contributing anything at this point. So 23-37 now goes on the offense. They're loading up.
That's Engineer's bumping into that tower and now trying to drive into some space. Boy, points are very hard to come by. Let's see if Engineer's can convert here. 2 at once. And boy, that's efficient there. We got to climb here for wavelength for the Blue Alliance.
Engineer's heading back, trying to get through some defense. trying to get 67 to move.
Boy,
giving him a nudge there.
30 seconds left. We are way off of our scoring pace with these two red and blue alliances.
The Engineers trying to get 67 to see if they can get that climb at least to contribute.
Wavelength and the Blue Alliance robots are all climbing.
Dan, this is phenomenal. If 67 can start the climb based on what the Engineers have been able to do. Otherwise, it's going to be the Blue Alliance advancing.
Tech Bikes trying to climb, and this round and semifinal match is over.
Strange match.
Combined score, probably the lowest score we've had of any match.
I think all weekend long, quite honestly. And it begins with something was wrong with the drivetrain with the 67 machine. 2337 was quickly adapting, trying to give them a boost and get them to the drive station. They took on some of the offense, but I don't know if it's enough now. The climbs not totally executed over on the blue pyramid. So we'll see. There's our score. Amazing. The Red Alliance holding on because their autonomous was good. And for some reason, hardly any disc points for the Blue Alliance. Their disc points just went to nothing. And for all the troubles we saw out there with 67 and 2337 Grand Blanc valiantly trying to help, the disc points, they didn't get the job done. The Red Alliance advances.
It's kind of good news, bad news. Red Alliance, you advance. Bad news is, what are you going to do about your hot team robot?
Here's a shot right here, Dan. They're in the pits. This is the 67 machine. They're holding the flashlight there. This is chain drives down here. And you can see fingers working on those chains and sprockets. There's gearboxes in here. These are drive motors, Dan. There's 2 drive motors on each side. They drive into a gearbox and then drive the chains.
Let's go with the pits. Sarah talking with somebody from the, I'm not sure which team it is, Sarah. Fighting Bulldogs.
Yeah, I am here with the Fighting Bulldogs team member, Megan Forrest. Now, Megan, you guys have only been around for 3 years yet. Here you are in the finals. How excited are you about that?
Extremely. Like, we didn't know if we were going to be picked going into Alliance selection, so we're just elated now.
Now, what is your strategy going into these finals?
Well, we think the Thunder Chickens are going to full court shoot. We're going to clean up anything they lose, and Los Guerrillas is just going to cycle through, and we should be good.
All right, thank you so much, Megan, and we'll go back to you guys.
And we are down to just 2 alliances left, 6 robots.
A little tougher road for the #1 alliance, right? I mean, it took a couple, 3 matches here to advance. So far, that #2 alliance, 4 straight to get down here. So when they come out this time, the #1 alliance, again, they'll be in the red bumpers. This time, the #2 alliance, they'll go to the blue bumpers in this one. So 67 there. I can tell you, this is the chief engineer on that machine. He's worked with the students since the year 2000. He is a General Motors engineer. He leads these kids. The kids manufacture tons of these parts in the machine shop out at the Milford Proving Ground.
And here's a little bit more about Milford's Team 67.
Last year when we won, it was super exciting, and when you win a lot, it puts a big target on your back.
2009 World Champions, 2010 World Champions, 2009 State Championship, and then 11 State Championship, and then moving into 2012, we had an incredible season.
We've had a legacy of high quality, well done pieces, and that has come with us to this next robot.
Our robot's not built to just do one thing. We can climb, we can do a dump too also as well, and we can do full court shots and a pyramid shot.
You've made a commitment to making this really awesome thing that we all do together. And when we come out, we have a really fantastic product. But alone, you could not have accomplished this. It takes the strength of you plus the strength of the team to produce this really fantastic product that we can then go and show to other people and have them appreciate the work that we all did.
I love designing robots, just seeing what you can do with just scraps of metal, like useless metal that was just sitting around. You can turn that into anything you want. Your craziest dreams can come true.
This team has opened up my eyes to so many things, and there are so many things that I wouldn't know if I wasn't here. I'm gonna start crying. It's just the people, the things I've learned, the things I've done, I just can't even begin to explain the effect it's had on my life.
Let's recap the alliances as we now move into the finals. This is the Red Alliance team, the hot team, Tech Vikes and Engineers. But again, can they fix up that hot team robot for one last stretch?
Again, there's your Alliance captain. 2 district wins this year. They were the only team with just 1 loss in the qualification rounds. They're your Alliance captain. Their first pick had been this team, and we know now for certain why they picked 2337, because they can block people out, and they've been doing a great job at it all tournament long.
Let's go back in the pitch right now. Sarah Sitarski talking with the Engineers from the Red Alliance.
I am here with Colin Sacchi of Team 2337. Now, what is your strategy heading into these finals?
Personally, our robot will likely be playing defense on some of the other alliances' big scores, probably like 469 and 3539, especially trying to prevent them from picking up discs from the ground, because that's one of their strengths.
All right, what are you expecting your alliance members to help you with?
I expect 67 will probably be continuing to do their full court shots that they've been doing throughout, and 2054 will likely play the same role as 469 and 3539, running around and picking up discs off the ground and trying to score as many as we can.
All right, thank you, Colin. Now back to you, Dan and Dave.
Let's move to our Blue Alliance team that will challenge.
Right here. There's your big dog. They came in here with 3 district wins. State champs last year was 67. State champs in 2010. They were a world champ back in 2003. Their first pick was the Biting Bulldogs, 3rd-year team. We know why they picked them, because they could do the autonomous under the pyramid. 469 doing that autonomous going out to the center of the field to pick them up. And here's a team with lots of experience picking these guys. 2-time world champ, state champ in Michigan. They've been there, they're experienced. A great alliance, a great showdown that we're going to have between the #1 alliance and the #2 alliance.
Let's take a closer look at the Thunder Chicken.
I think we have a very unique group of people that work together toward one goal.
It's really cool to have people up in the stands. Even when you're down and out, it seems like there are team members up in the stands cheering you on every match.
I think that having so many people there in our green shirts and cheering for us is really supportive.
Without the enthusiasm, it just wouldn't be as fun.
Our team has consistently been successful. We've won divisions 6 times. We've won worlds twice.
Last year, I went to the state championship, and when I went there, it was more of my brother telling me, hey, you should come out here and just check it out and see what you think about it. When I got there, I had no idea what to expect. So I had to put on the green shirt and sit in the crowd with my family. More than anything else, I watched the teammates and the camaraderie, even though last year wasn't our greatest year ever.
Last year at state, we missed qualifying for worlds by 1 point. It was extremely disheartening for especially our graduating seniors, because that would be the first year since we've been a team that we didn't go.
When it was announced that we wouldn't be going to Worlds last year, it kind of, instead of breaking us down, it kind of steeled our nerves and made us know that next year we had to try harder.
We know that our robot is not always going to work perfectly, and so just to know that your team is behind you no matter what happens when you play is awesome.
So that's kind of our goal right now, is make sure we're able to go to St. Louis.
Sarah is standing by at the pits as we get an update on the hot team and their robots. Sarah?
I'm here with Dan from the Last Gorillas. Now, you guys helped out Team Hot, even though they're playing against you. Can you talk a little bit about that gracious professionalism?
Right, well, we tried to take a time out for them to give them more time to fix their robot. There's kind of a long-standing tradition in first where, you want to play your best against your opponents at their best. So anytime you have a chance to help your opponent out, whether it's call a timeout for them, give them a battery, give them a spare motor, whatever it is, you take that chance.
Well, that is some sportsmanship right there. Now we'll go back to Dan and Dave.
Well, that's something you don't always see, and we're set for a very interesting championship round here. Again, as we reset things, Dan Gutowski along with Dave Verbrugge. And Dave, this is a challenge, obviously, for both of these teams, but assuming that the hot robot gets fixed, what are we looking at here? What kind of strategy do we see here?
You know, from what I've seen right now, I would give the edge to the Blue Alliance. They put up some huge points here. Their disc scoring, I think it's going to be tough for the Red Alliance to match the disc scoring that we've seen from the number 2 Alliance, the Blue Alliance. That autonomous, it probably may come down to that autonomous. If they can pull that off like we saw the one time, perfectly scoring all those those disc and autonomous, that's tough for the Red Alliance to come back. I also look to see a key for the Red Alliance is the 30-point climb out of 67, and I think we're going to see the Blue Alliance put somebody play defense on them and keep them from getting to that pyramid for that 30 points.
The Hot Team robot isn't the only one being looked at now for the Red Alliance. They've got the Tech Bikes robot being looked at as well. Let's go into pits, and Sarah has an update on that. Sarah?
I am here with Alex Klaska with the Tech Bikes. What is going on with your robot right now?
Right now, it's not looking too good. We got it fixed, but our work's cut out for us in the next matches.
All right, and what is your strategy going into the finals?
Hopefully just make all our shots, don't get any penalties. Hopefully 67 will keep doing their long shots. If they can do that, we'll pick up their misses. Engineers play defense, same thing we've been trying to do all day.
All right, thank you. Good luck in the finals, and we'll go back to you guys.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish, and that's the hardware that is up for grabs here this afternoon at the Convocation Center here at Eastern Michigan.
After 128 qualifiers, a full afternoon of elimination matches, it comes down to these 6 teams. What we're going to do here is I'm going to announce each team one by one. When I call your team name, I want your drive team out here in front of your robot. Starting off on the Red Alliance, Team 67.
From Milford, Michigan and Huron Valley Schools, it's the Heroes of Tomorrow, the Hot Team.
Their partners, that number 1 seed, Team 2054. Come on down.
From Hopkins, it's the Tech Bikes, the number 1 seed.
Rounding it out with Team 2337.
Nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert. From Grand Lake, it's the Engineers.
And I know that the Blue Alliance isn't going to make it easy for them. Let's meet them. It's Team 469.
From Bloomfield Hills, it's the Las Gorillas.
Their partners, 217.
From Sterling Heights, it's the Thunder Chicken.
And rounding it out with 3539.
From Washington, it's the Fighting Bulldogs.
All right. So teams, come on forward, give each other a shake of the hands, and let's get this thing underway.
Let's go back in the pits and rejoin Sarah.
I'm here with Francois Castain, the chairman of FIRST, and I just want to ask you, how important is FIRST Robotics to the field of engineering?
We do not produce enough engineers in this country right now. One of the reasons is because young people don't know how interesting the career of engineers are, how much money they make by doing that. Probably if you are a young woman and you graduate from your with undergrad degree, with engineering degree, you will make over $60,000. But there are only so few young women doing that. So FIRST is one very good way for young people to discover that this is a profession that can give them a lot of satisfactions, secure their future, and help this country stay in the lead.
Thank you so much for enlightening us all, and we'll go back to competition right now.
So we get set for our final match between these two Red and Blue Alliance teams. And it is out here. Who's going to start fast? Looks like both teams come out shooting well in autonomous in the first 15 seconds here. Highly efficient shooting, but looks like the Blue Alliance with the advantage. Las Guerrillas loading up and heading the other direction to line up and fire in 1, 2, 3. Looks like they made all 4. And some long distance shooting from in the corner for the Blue Alliance by the Thunder Chickens, who lead by, it looks like, 30 points.
And now 67 has got the long shot going, so they were able to get position with a little help from the Engineers.
Fighting Bulldogs underneath the tower now, but blocked effectively by the Engineers for the Red Alliance. You see the hot team in the corner trying to fire from distance.
Engineers in a blocking position again. Still the Blue Alliance pulling away at this point, a 30-point advantage.
And the hot team is knocking them in from distance. I'm counting like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in a row. Is this unreal or what?
Now they are rapid firing. It's unbelievable the way they're feeding them in. Taking a huge lead, the Red Alliance at this point.
The Red Alliance, the hot team is not being checked, and they are just running wild here. Looks like a 20-point lead here. The Blue Alliance is shooting well on their own,
and they're going for the climb. 67 going for the climb.
Only 28 seconds left in this first championship round.
Right now it looks like all red with the climbs being executed. The Bulldogs firing them in. The Biting Bulldogs underneath. 67 going up. The Blue Alliance battling back with the disc.
The hot team is climbing there. The hot team robot, I should say.
They've got the Reds. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All 3 Red Alliance robots have elevated as the clock hits 0. Almost 200 points unofficially for the Red Alliance.
I tell you what, that worked to perfection for the Red Alliance. I don't think they could have hoped for much more than what just took place there. Clearly the 67 machine, they got that drivetrain fixed thanks to a timeout called by the opposition alliance. And they were drilling the long shots. It looks like we're going to take a look at that on replay.
I have not seen a run like this. Watch right here.
And watch them pile up down here. Let's see how many are in the air at one time. There's 1, 2. Coming in, 1, 2, 3. Just one after the other. I know there are 3 motors in that machine used to launch the discs. And just piling up down here on the end.
Wow.
And then executing the climb. 469 plays them clean as they had to, because once they start that climb, they can't be bumped. You see it latch on here, then they pull up. The secondary hooks latch on, extending up. And once that bottom of that machine clears, they're at the 30-point level. In 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 50-point climb. And you can't draw it up any better than that.
And so here's our score total. The disc points, the climb points, everything falling into the place for Red Alliance.
Wow, unbelievable. I mean, 170 to 165. So the Red Alliance holds their own and even a little advantage over the Blue. That surprises me. And then they get a full 50 points worth of climb. That means all of their machines were up. The 30-point climb plus 2 10 points. Looks like we're in the pits looking at the Tech Bike machine. Again, the Hopkins High School team. Hopkins a little bit south of Grand Rapids, if you don't know where that's at.
And how about we head west to Hopkins to meet the Tech Bikes on their home turf?
Hopkins is a very rural farming community and has been big in Future Farmers of America and football for years. Now to be able to be thought of as as a first team also and doing quite well.
It's just like a very small farming community, and a lot of people are more hands-on, know how to use machinery and stuff like that. So that helps us with like our driving skills and design, programming, building.
A lot of the people around here have worked in farms in different areas where they're working with machinery.
I've been driving equipment probably since I was about 10 years old.
Yeah, I know Corey's dad, and I was over there one time to get a barn beam. We needed to move a whole pile of beams, and all of a sudden here comes Corey driving a Bobcat. He had a lot of skills at driving excavators and Bobcats, that so much so that we built the controls on the robot to match that.
It was kind of funny because when we were doing some research online about 2054, the team just kind of looking.
The related searches was for a John Deere 2054. So in clicking on that link, he found a picture of a combine.
Basically, we started off from scratch. We didn't even have a combine in mind, and we came out to this result, which resembles something that's built in the industry every day, and it's kind of cool to realize that.
Being a farming community and a farm team, we looked for what we knew. John Deere actually makes a 2054 combine, and everybody thought it was a Photoshop. It was not a Photoshop, it's the real model.
Here's the Thunder Chickens, and they are going to have to revisit their strategy right here. Blocking the hot team, Red Alliance robot, is paramount.
Yep, and so where we just saw this was a couple weeks ago at the Troy District. 469 was against 67. The third member of that team of the 469 Alliance, it was 469 along with 245 the Adambots, and the team out of Boyne City Blaze. In Boyne City, they put a block mechanism on this. You know, basically what you're looking at is pool noodles, folks. 99-cent pool noodles being constructed and put together. And it worked to perfection when the Boyne City team did it against 67 just a couple weeks ago in Troy. And so now we're seeing the Thunder Chicken machine being fitted for that, so that 67 can't just sit in front of their loading station, their feeding station, and pound them in.
Let's go in the pitch right now, Sarah, with the Thunder Chickens from the Blue Alliance.
Yes, I'm here with Austin Smith from the Thunder Chickens. Now, you guys are putting on a blocker. Why put one on this late in the game?
Well, at this point, Hot's a lot better long shooter than we are. They're much more accurate, and they're much more of an offensive threat than we are from the long shot. So if we can block them and play more defense, we feel to benefit our alliance a lot more. So we're going to do that, and hopefully it'll turn out right. So.
All right, well, thank you very much, and hopefully that works out for you guys.
All right, Sarah, the saying that offense wins games, defense wins championships. The Blue Alliance is going to test that theory.
So look for a little pushing match down here. If the Thunder Chickens come in, look for those engineers out of Grand Blanc to try to push that Utica Community School out of the way and open up that long shot for the Milford team.
The robots going mano a mano, if you will, as the robots now come back to the playing field here for what could be the last competition of the day if the Red Alliance wins.
And there's that Thunder Chicken machine. Look at it. Look at those beautiful pool noodles on there, right? And they're still programming. They're tethered up. Generally what they're doing, these cables you see here, they're tethering the computer to the brains on the robot. It's a National Instruments. They call it a National Instruments C-Rio. That's what the students program and runs these machines. We get a bird's eye view. They're passing right in front of Dan and I right now. And the other thing they have to do, I'm sure they had the head inspector right there, because now this machine didn't go through inspection with those pool noodles, but I guarantee you the head inspector was right there. The machine is legal.
And so the final robot enters the playing field. Will that added netting give the Thunder Chicken robot enough defense to stop the hot team robot for the Red Alliance? A Red Alliance victory means they are the 2013 state champions in the Michigan First Robotics State Competition.
What's interesting here, too, if the Red Alliance were to win, that would give 67 their 4th state championship in 5 years. If the Blue Alliance wins, that gives 469 their 3rd state championship, tying them with 67. It would additionally be giving 217 their 2nd state championship. And, of course, 35-39, the Fighting Bulldogs. It would be their 1st state championship. 2054 looking for their 1st state championship. They'd love to bring that big trophy back to Hopkins. And similarly, the Engineers, they'd like to take one north up to Grand Blanc High School.
All right, we are golden. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Michigan, are you ready to potentially find out your next state champions? 3, 2, 1, go!
The autonomous rounds begins. Who's going to get off to the fast start here? Not a lot of separation early as we close out the autonomous round. Maybe a minor lead for the Red Alliance. And now it is game on. Can hot team for the Red Alliance get in position to fire from distance? So far, so good. The Blue Alliance blocking and scoring with Las Gorillas doing the shooting. And it's hot team unable to get in position like they did the last round.
It looks like they've got a drivetrain issue again. Now they're back into their safe zone. Now if they start getting hit, it's penalties. But they've got an issue with the drivetrain. It isn't driving right. And Engineers trying to help them out again.
Blue Alliance taking advantage, opening up a 40-point lead almost. This is Las Gorillas loading up and knocking down 3 of 4. Now the hot team is going to fire. They're in their corner and they are protected.
Huge advantage though for the Blue Alliance.
Over 100 points, almost a 50-point lead. It is time for the hot team to start firing and going to work. Pressure put on by the Thunder Chickens.
This is all Blue Alliance at this point. Something again, a miss in the drivetrain of 67. Engineers running interference. But in the meantime, the Fighting Bulldogs, 469. Just cycling like crazy. It looks like finally 67's got the shot. Now can they start hammering them home? Can they close the gap? The problem is with the drivetrain, I don't think.
There's only 30 seconds left and it's about a 50-point lead for the Blue Alliance. A lot of ground to make up.
But now there was a penalty over there, I think. 67 machine not running right. They had taken a shot. Huge advantage for the Blue Alliance. 469 coming back up to the pyramid. Firing. Just scoring. And they hang Fighting Bulldogs firing.
Unofficial scoring as we go to 0. A big lead for the Blue Alliance. If that lead holds, we're going to have a third and deciding match here.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Blue Alliance, 469, 35-39, just pouring on the offense, pouring the disc in, and 67 is on again, off again, right? Something in that drivetrain, it's not driving right. One match they look like $1 million, and then the next one, they can't get into position. And so something on one side of that drivetrain is not allowing the drive straight. The Engineers are coming over trying to help get them in position, and it's just not working out. Additionally, I think they're out of timeouts. And so now they're really under the gun.
Here's the Blue Alliance finding their comfort zone and knocking in the discs and scoring points.
Yeah, underneath the Fighting Bulldogs, 469. 469 is just so solid, right? Match after match, running cycles in that one. They load quick, they get back to the pyramid quick, they can fire them up. 469, awesome machine.
Let's take a look behind the scenes at Las Gorillas.
It's very easy to get excited about your robot, think you had a great match, and get carried away with that. But, you know, we work really hard to even in our best matches, say we should have scored 2 more Frisbees, or we should have done this, we should have done that.
Well, I mean, you can always be better. There's always something that some other team is doing. So the entire time we're looking at other teams to see, hey, what are they doing that maybe gives them an edge? And we can adapt from what they do throughout the seasons to try to figure out what we can do better.
Once you realize how to shoot it, it was more difficult thinking how you want to manipulate it. And I think one of the special things about this year's robot is our floor pickup.
The floor pickup has been crucial because even if we're with partners who aren't scoring off their discs, that means they're going to be discs on the ground.
If there's something we can do to fix the robot, it doesn't matter if we're going to lose sleep over it, we're going to do that to fix the robot.
You know, the whole goal at first is to grow interest in science and technology, and so, you know, if you're just all about yourself, you're never going to grow your brand, and I think that no one wants to see anybody else fail. They want to see everybody at their best.
It makes the community that we are in seem more close-knit and more like a family than just like each team working on their own, which is really awesome, and I love seeing that.
We came from a place where we had very little resources, we had very little engineering help at the start of this team, and there were several other teams that stepped in and said, hey, you know, maybe this is what's wrong with your robot. Have you thought about trying this? And so right away we kind of got brought into that attitude, and so we've just tried to give that back. Now that we're in a position where we kind of know what we're doing, you know, every chance we have to help somebody out with programming, with, you know, helping them fix their robot, whatever it is, you know, we like to take those chances.
As we get our score updates, let's find out if we have a winner. Red was up by 1. 190 to 118. The Blue Alliance. We're going to 3. So a big, rousing comeback, Dave, for the Blue Alliance, and they force it to a 3rd and final championship match.
Easily winning that one. You know, 177 to 89. 190 points. You know, we've seen higher scores, but plenty in this match. Again, because we saw 217. 217 added those pool noodles. So the W on that one goes to that Blue Alliance, and we're going to a 3rd match.
So let's get the replay of the offensive onslaught from that Blue Alliance.
And again, C469 coming back and autonomous. Picking these two up. Let's see if they score these. I'm not sure if they did or not. They pull forward. Oh, but I mean, that's impressive.
All right, as we wait for the start of this last round with these 2 Red and Blue Alliance teams, let's go back in the pits and check in with Sarah.
I am back here with Emma from Team Hot. Now, what is your strategy going into this final match?
Our strategy is definitely going to be to keep Team 217 off of us so that we can just keep getting those Frisbees in the goal, because that's really what is going to get us the win, and to definitely to climb. We actually popped one of our chains, and we've been going without it since it broke. And so we're trying our best with what we have, and climbing is for sure going to be one of the big things.
Well, good luck. It's going to be a good one. Now back to you, Dan and Dave.
All right, one big finish here.
Yeah, I think the 67 machine, they definitely need full power to be able to do the climb. And as Emma just told us, I think they know without the long-range shooting working for 67, they cannot go disc for disc with the Blue Alliance. They just can't keep up with them. With 469, 35-39, from 35-39 the Biting Bulldogs out of Washington. That's the Romeo Engineering and Technology Center. The Red Alliance can't go disc for disc with them. And so they need that long-range shot of 67, and I think Emma gave us a clue. They're going to have to get that climb in. Now, in this case, we also know the Blue Alliance, they know well, if 67 pulls up to that pyramid, if they get close to where if that climb begins, they can't touch them. Otherwise, the climb is basically awarded. So hopefully, we'll see all 6 machines working. There's a good shot of the Biting Bulldog machine. Again, this machine out of Washington, just the 3rd year in the competition. They've made it to state all 3 years. So as a rookie, they made it here. As a 2nd-year team, they made it here. As a 3rd-year team. So here's a program that's building fast and furious. up there in Washington and doing a great job. Again, we look at, where they're from here. 67 out of Milford, 2054 out of Hopkins, 2337 from Grand Blanc, the Gorillas 469 from Bloomfield Hills, the Thunder Chickens, that's Utica Community Schools, they're in Sterling Heights, and then 3539 out of Washington from the Romeo Engineering and Technology Center. And there are tiebreakers. Should we finish this match and the score be tied, I believe it would first go to see if it was a clean match, if it was unpenalized, and then I believe autonomous points figure into that. I don't think we'll see a tie. I think we're going to see somebody come out of this one on top, and we're going to have our 2013 Michigan First Robotics Competition state champions in just a few minutes.
Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? I know you guys are ready, Michigan. 3, 2, 1,
So this
go.
final round begins, the autonomous round. Who's going to get off to a better start? And Dave, a lot of pressure on the driving that is engineered by the students. The machines are in good shape. How effective will the driving be?
Yeah, it'll be execution now. Hopefully everything's fixed. Looks like the 67 machine is driving well. So now it's down to execution.
The Blue Alliance with almost 60 points.
Huge lead coming out of autonomous for the Blue Alliance. That certainly sets the Red Alliance back on their heels.
Again, it's all unofficial until it's all tallied up. And there's Hot Team getting that robot into position to shoot from distance. Can they get in that comfort zone and start pouring them in a little bit high? Now they're on a bit of a run. But the blocking comes into play. This is Thunder Chicken. And an 84-51 lead for the Blue Alliance. Let's see if the Engineers robot can manufacture some points for the Red Alliance. Right now, a 30-point lead with a lot of time left, almost 1 minute left. Now, the Hot Team robot abandons its position, and that really changes the strategy now. Good blocking by Biting Bulldogs.
That's right, huge lead for the Blue Alliance.
Red Alliance has got to get points.
67 having issues at the pyramid.
Looks like the Hot Team is going to start climbing.
I think they're trying to dump out their disc. I think they've got a jam problem. Huge lead for the Blue Alliance. We had seen 2054, the Tech Bikes, try to push 217 out there. No luck at all with that. Now 67 going for the climb.
That Engineers robot is having a tough time discharging those Frisbees. And now it's time to climb with 10 seconds left and a sizable lead for the Blue Alliance.
Yep, I don't think the hang points will be nearly enough for the Red Alliance.
Unofficially, 133 to 63 in favor of the Blue Alliance, but they've got to tally everything. A celebration for the Blue Alliance. Thunder Chickens, Las Gorillas, and Biting Bulldogs. The defense stepped up in that third match and won it.
And there you have it, yeah. 145. I mean, the 129, not even close on the disc points. Yes, they came back with the climb points, but it wasn't going to be enough to overcome those disc points. So for the second time, 217 is a state champ. They were state champs in 2009. Now again here, the first time for 35-39 out of Washington, the Fighting Bulldogs, first time state champs, and now the third time for 469.
So an exciting finish here. The adrenaline and the excitement pays off. Here's a replay of the shooting in the autonomous round for the Blue Alliance.
Yeah, great start for them. There's the celebration taking place. 469 team, 217. Fighting Bulldogs back there. These teams put a lot of time and effort into this.
And again, there's some long-term payoff, certainly beyond today, but there's the final. All these great teams and robots and students that have spent so much time and energy as the Alliance #2 wins. And we thank all of you who have been watching us. We thank you for enjoying this presentation of the Michigan First Robotics State Championship. For my partner Dave Verbrugge and Sarah Sentarski, I'm Dan Gutowski. We say so long from the Convocation Center here at Eastern Michigan. The 2013 First in Michigan Robotics State Championship is brought to you by
Chevrolet. Find new roads.